Good afternoon, New York State PTA. My name is Michelle Ahaus. I'm our Director of Strategic Partnerships for EF Educational Tours. I'm absolutely thrilled to be coming to you virtually as well as in person outside in the exhibit hall to talk to you more about the educational travel opportunities we have for the New York State PTA members and families. Before we dive in a little bit more on those specific opportunities, I wanted to take a moment to share a bit more about who EF is, what we do, and how we're the perfect partner to execute these travel opportunities for your members and families. So EF, for those of you who aren't familiar, stands for Education First. We're a family-owned company that was started about 60 years ago in Sweden by our founder, Bertil Holt. Bertil started us because he failed out of college. He couldn't learn English in a traditional classroom setting. So after failing out, he headed on down to England to work as a busboy in a kitchen. He found after about 3 months that he was virtually fluent in the English language and realized that cultural immersion and learning was the key way for people to absorb and learn language. He headed back to Sweden and started bringing busloads of kids on down to England and other countries so that they could immerse themselves in language and learn in a hands-on way. In addition to learning the language, they also got a better appreciation for culture. Internationally, we are well known for our language schools and our language courses. We have over 600 schools and offices around the world, and we also offer ample online language learning opportunities. Here in the States, we're a little better known for our educational travel. So we offer educational travel for middle school, high school, and college, as well as adults. And that's both domestic and international. We have a gap year program for those students who are in between high school and college. For college, a college study program, as well as an ultimate break program. And then for our adults, a go ahead program. Where we are today is 300 different itineraries that we can offer across 50 different countries. Traditionally, we partner with educators in schools who want to bring their students abroad to bring the classroom to life. But we understand that not every school has a teacher who's ready, willing, or maybe able to lead that trip. And that's where the New York State PTA comes in. We know that travel opens people's eyes. We know that every student should have the opportunity to travel, no matter their race, gender, socioeconomic status. Everyone should have the right to travel. And it's EF mission to open the world to everyone through travel. Our tours take students through a physical journey and a personal journey. So the physical space, maybe you're seeing the Eiffel Tower, like you are behind me. You're exploring the beaches of Normandy, where World War II was fought in part, or you're trying new foods, meeting new people, hearing new language. Whatever that is, you're exploring it, you're experiencing it, and you're put out of your comfort zone a little bit, which is where we all learn and grow the most. And that's where the personal journey comes in. Everyone comes into tour looking for something different, something that speaks to them themselves. And so that blend of the personal and the physical results in these incredible outcomes that impact students for the rest of their life. Here at EF, we've really focused on those outcomes, 4 of them to be exact. Your growth mindset, where students will learn to embrace new opportunities and challenges with an open mind. We talk about global perspective, where students have the opportunity to expand their worldviews as they engage with new cultures. That personal development, which I referenced earlier, students really discovering more about themselves, more about the world, and more about themselves in the world. And then finally, action and impact, really focusing on students gaining the necessary skills to navigate and make an impact in an ever-evolving world. How we do this, we offer 300 different itineraries for people to choose from. That goes across 50 different countries. And so some folks can tie their tour directly to a curriculum. Others really look to lean in to the social emotional learning opportunities that come as a part of every tour. And our tours can be thematic. Maybe they're STEM related, CTE, such as agriculture or robotics, or maybe automotive. We also have service learning tours, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a moment. We have language immersion tours and language and cultural tours. And we also have our Global Leadership Summit, where over 1,000 students come together to do design thinking work around a prompt, such as sustainability or the impact of sports and wellness. But whatever it is that people are looking for in order to give their students and children more opportunity and more exposure, we can create it for them. So where we landed in talking with Kyle is 2 opportunities. The first is actually an opportunity for unit leaders, regional directors, council leaders, and staff on service, and specifically service to Peru. So if you'll give me a moment while I share my screen, I'd like to walk you through the itineraries. Bear with me 1 second. Thank you. All right, thanks so much. So I've pulled up the itinerary we've talked about, exploring culture and service in Peru. I'm going to scroll through the itinerary briefly, but as you can tell by the name, this is a service-focused itinerary. And for this particular tour, we're actually focusing it, as I said, just on the adults and leaders of the New York State PTA. So there are 5 service hours. It's a 9-day tour and there are 5 service hours. What you can expect, you'll be working and immersing with locals in Peru. You're going to gain insights into what it's like to their community, what they need, and how to best assist them in growth. So for EF, all of our service is focused on the community and is truly needs service. We do not do touristic service. And so what I love about this is you actually won't find out your specific service project until a little bit closer to tour, probably 2 to 3 months out. Because when we're planning, as we do with all of our student tours, 18 to 24 months out in advance, we don't know what a community is going to need at that point in time. What we know is that our previous service work has been in building economic development and growth in the community, has been meaningful, and all of our service will end up completed. We will fund that service through completion because we know there's a certain amount of work that you can do in your 9 days while you're working with the community, but you may not finish everything in that time. So we ensure that all of our projects are finished out. So scrolling through, you'll see you have a combination, as I said, of service, of cultural immersion, and of leadership development. One important note is the staff that travels along on any EF tour. So you'll have a tour director and a field director here for service specifically. And that tour director is with you 24/7. They meet you when you get off the plane in your country that you're starting your tour in and travel with the group, staying at the same hotels, on the bus. They serve as a logistics coordinator, but they also serve as that conduit and educator into the details and the cultural learning of the tour that you're participating in. You'll move through and you'll land in Lima to start in Peru. You'll go through with a series of cultural experiences. You'll then move to Machu Picchu area and get to explore Machu Picchu. And then you'll dive deeper into your service project in the Sacred Valley. Again, these service projects are incredible. They're impactful both for the community as well as the participants partaking in them. Moving along, the second opportunity that we have, and this one is focused on students and their families. This is our middle school Exploring Europe trip. And when I say it's our middle school trip, it doesn't mean it's not open to high school students and their families, but the focus is, and from what we've heard with Kyle, the focus is the majority of the students who might be interested in this are probably at that middle school level. And so this will take in a lot of your major cultural sites and learnings across Europe. We will start and fly overnight and land in London. We'll move on through the sites of London and experience the high-speed train to take us to Paris. From Paris, we'll explore everything from the Louvre. We'll spend time at Champs-Élysées. We'll learn about the culture and the rich history of the city. And then as we move through, we'll go and take a flight to Rome, Italy. When we're in Rome, we'll explore Vatican City. We'll have a local guide who will join our tour director, who will go more in depth on places like the Sistine Chapel, the Colosseum, and some of the other major sites. So at EF, our tour directors are really our secret sauce. As I mentioned before, they're handling logistics, but they're also that cultural and educational ambassador and facilitator on your tour. Our tour directors are at a minimal bilingual, both in English as well as the language of the country or countries you're going to be in. Given you're going to, 2 countries that speak languages other than English, your tour director will be well versed in all. They will guide you through that process and ensuring both the comfort of the group, the education of the group, but also safety and security. And so one thing that I want to mention is that safety and security are something that EF prioritizes. We have and always will do over the course of our 60 years. With over 600 schools and offices, as I mentioned earlier, we truly have boots on the ground wherever your tour is and in any country. We also have 24/7 emergency line staffed so that if while you're on the road, a sprained ankle, illness, or something more severe pops up, both travelers and the tour directors, as well as parents at home, have an opportunity to connect and get information and support as they need it. We have background checks on all of our adult travelers who are traveling with students, whether they are teachers, parents, educators, whomever. Everyone will receive a background check in order to travel on tour. In light of COVID and what EF has done to ensure health and safety on tour, we have actually been awarded the World Travel and Tourism Council's Safe Travel Stamp for our standards and holding all of our suppliers and vendors to those standards to ensure the safest possible experience for our travelers going abroad. Additionally, we received a Tour Care stamp from the United States Tour Operators Association, which is an international travel and tourism association, and fellow recipients of the Safe Travel Stamp. It further recognizes the proactive approach and measures that EF has taken on behalf of the well-being of our travelers. If anyone has additional questions as to safety and how EF approaches, I'm going to encourage you to check out our website at eftours.com/health and safety, and you'll see all of our up-to-date information, including our EF COVID Care Promise, what it looks like for pre-tour preparation, obviously our on-tour safety, and of course, how we're looking ahead for travel. Another element that I want to talk about is planning and paying for travel. So we understand that travel is an investment. Some people say it's a cost. Most parents say that it's an investment. It's an investment in their children's future. It's an investment that's worth making, but we understand that everybody needs time. And so at EF, we offer flexible payment plans and programs that best meet families' budgets. That could be bi-weekly, that could be monthly, that could be a manual payment plan that aligns with the timing that a family feels comfortable in paying. We also have a fundraising page. So every traveler that signs up receives a fundraising page similar to a GoFundMe, except 100% of the funds put into that go directly to the traveler's account and paying for their travel opportunity. Additionally, we have a Global Citizen Scholarship where EF awards up to $100,000 in scholarship to students and travelers each year. They have to answer through a 2 to 3 minute video, how will this tour affect the way you think and act about the world? It's pretty compelling stuff, and it's a great opportunity for families and for students to offset that cost of travel. So why are we doing this now, you might ask? Well, in light of the giving people more time to plan, we're doing this now mostly because folks need something to look forward to, particularly our students. They've had so much taken away over the past 18, 24 months that planning now for 2023 is important. It gives some light at the end of the tunnel, and it gives them that opportunity to dream big. Here at EF, we're actually offering additional flexibility to our families who are planning now. So one, for families who enroll on a trip before January 1st, we're offering a $200 early enrollment discount for those families. Secondly, we have our risk-free enrollment period. Again, for families who enroll before January 1st of 2022, they will be able to cancel for any reason and receive a full refund through February 1st of 2022. So for those families who want to lock in that price now, and all they need to do is put a $95 deposit in, They can lock in that price and take a month or so, month to 2 months, depending on when they enroll, to think and plan and move forward. After that, we have what's called our peace of mind policy and program, which offer a ton of flexibility, as well as another number of other opportunities to help make sure and provide comfort that families are making the right choice. So in terms of timing, we're going to be launching these trips out to the PTA community later in December, or I'm sorry, in the next few weeks in December. And then we will be actually traveling. So for the adult trip to Peru, that will take place in March of 2023. For the student and adult trip going to Europe, that will take place in July of 2023. So again, we're looking 18 plus months out for these travel opportunities and are very, very excited to be partnering with the New York State PTA in order to make these opportunities available to as many students and families throughout the state as possible. If you have any questions, I encourage you to come find me. I'll be at the EF booth with my colleague, Jim McDermott, and happy to talk more about this, as well as any questions you may have. Thank you so much and have a great convention.